Good afternoon. I'm St. Paul Mayor Melvin Carter. We are expecting to continue our historic snow season that we have this winter. I think everyone knows we've had an enormous amount of snow, an atypical amount of snow this winter. I wanted a visual aid to show you just how much snow that we've had, but we weren't able to get one printed in time, so our Director of Public Works, Sean Kershaw, decided to step in as our visual aid because we've had 75 inches of snow accumulation so far this winter, and Sean is 75 inches tall. So if you're on a sense of how much snow we've had this winter, that's 75 inches. That does not include the rain. We've had 3 rain events, and when you combine the rain events with the snow events, we've seen more moisture come down this winter than ever before. Obviously, this is a major thing for our public works crews, our entire city, and every community member to address together. I want to share that in consultation with our Public Works Department and our Fire Department and Police Department, we have determined the need to put in place a one-side parking ban that is effective Friday, March 10th at 8 o'clock a.m. until April 15th. We are banning parking on the north and west sides of the street. No, we're banning parking on the south and east sides of the street. We are banning parking on the south and east sides of the street. Parking is allowed on the north and west sides of the street until April 15th. And so we are sharing this with folks. The goal of this is to make sure that we can get fire trucks to your house, to make sure that we can get ambulances to your business if we need to do that, in recognition of this historic winter season that we've had. This is about public safety. This is about clearing our city together, and we want to do this in anticipation of what we expect to be another snowy weekend. So I want to thank you all for coming out. That's the core of the announcement that we have to make. I'll pass to Public Works Director Sean Kershaw for any more specifics.
Thank you, Mayor. First, I want to offer a thanks to the teams in Public Works and throughout the city. Snow in St. Paul in the wintertime is a team event. Literally hundreds of people work to keep the city safe during a record-setting winter like this year. I also want to thank the public, because the public has been patient. The public has worked with their neighbors to move cars, to clear sidewalks, that this has been also an epic winter for them. The first thing that I want to mention is, as the mayor said, it's time. We've done everything we can in this snow season to avoid calling a parking ban a one-sided parking ban. It is time to do that now to make our streets safe and passable for the fire rigs that you see behind us and the emergency vehicles. We're now at the point where our plows are having a hard time getting down residential streets, and now is the time to widen them and make them as safe as possible. We are asking the public to be patient. We understand that this is a huge inconvenience. To find a place to park, you will need to move your garbage cans to make sure that they are accessible but not in the street. And we really appreciate the cooperation we've had from the garbage haulers and Eureka Recycling. We know that this is a big imposition for the public, and we appreciate their patience. And we ask everyone who's watching to reach out to their neighbor and remind them that it's time to move their car and to see where they need to be by going to stpaul.gov/snow. So if you have any questions about where you should park your car, stpaul.gov/snow will provide a link to a page that has a detailed map. You can see exactly on your block face where you should park. I do want to highlight that the arterial streets, the major streets, will continue with the parking that they have posted. This is primarily about residential streets. So like the mayor said, help your neighbors. We will keep this in place until April 15th. If it warms up, we will end it sooner. And we really appreciate the public's cooperation here. Chief Inks.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Butch Inks, your fire chief. As you can hear, the safety of our residents is a top priority for the city of St. Paul. And this temporary one-sided parking ban not only allows our fire apparatus to have better accessibility to respond to our calls, but also our school buses and basically our residents as well. fire doubles in size every minute, and every minute that we can save in our response to EMS calls literally saves lives. And this one-sided parking ban will allow us to have, again, better accessibility to when we respond. As you can see, the fire truck behind me now, they average anywhere from 8 to 10 feet wide, and just this one decision to create a one-sided parking ban literally gives us anywhere from an additional 6 to 8 feet of space to respond, and it improves our response times, as I just mentioned how critical that is. So I appreciate everyone's understanding and cooperation with this, as public safety will definitely be improved in our response time. So thank you.
As I mentioned, that 75 inches of snow accumulation over the course of this season produces millions of cubic yards of snow that our public works crews have moved already out of our streets this year. That snow obviously has to go somewhere, and it's limited in space and where it can go. So when it gets plowed to the edge, that's what causes our streets, the passageway in our streets to narrow over the course of time. I certainly echo the thanks of Director Kershaw. Thanks to our snow crews, we've been able to manage that. We've been able to handle this historically snowy winter. Our last snow emergency, I tweeted this, our last snow emergency, we saw a residential house fire at about 2:30 in the morning, and our crews were able to get there in less than 7 minutes. Those are life-saving minutes, and we're really proud of our ability to do that. As we do this, our response to snow is about our ability to operate together as a community. It's about our ability to take care of one another and to ensure that whether it's my house or my neighbor's house or a house down the street that needs emergency services, that our city, our first responders are able to get there as soon as possible. I want to say thank you to all those first responders and our public works crews, because in those snowiest days where the rest of us are getting our stuff and getting our groceries and heading home to try to buckle in and stay in as much as possible, those are the folks who run out into the storm to clear that storm and to keep us safe on our behalf. So I certainly want to say thank you to all of them, and I'm happy to stand for any questions. Thank you all very much.